Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Mind, Money, Soul. And today I'm going to be talking about the 7 important lessons that I have learned on my journey about finances. I'm really excited to share this one with you because some of them might not be what you think that they are. So before I get into it, I just want to remind you that this is your last chance to sign up to the Feel Good Investor course. It starts next week, so the doors will be closing in a couple of days. This was posted on 11th of September, so by the 15th the doors will be closed. And the whole point of it is, if you have been wanting to start investing, you've been listening to my podcast, you've been thinking, I might sign up to the course, or maybe you've read a book on it, but you still don't quite understand it, or you've seen Instagram posts and you're like, why is everybody making it out to be so easy? This is the course for you. It's for people who are beginners, who don't understand it, who maybe understand a little bit, who maybe don't get the language, who are just scared to start and they need that support. I have taken everything that I have learned over the last few years on my own journey and also in my own career journey, and I've put it into this course, the stuff you need to know. Sometimes when we buy books or do courses or whatever, there's all this extra fluff that just confuses you and overwhelms you. That's not in there. The point of this is so that you can actually get started by the end of the course, and there's an amazing group of women that usually end up doing it. We're all together, we're all supporting each other. Love, love, love. So the link is in my show notes. Come and join us if you will. Let's get into the episode. So the first thing that I have learned about finances, drumroll please, is that I will tell people all the time, and I have learnt this the hard way, no one is coming to save me, and I shouldn't ever rely on that. It sucks, but it's true. Now for me, I'm probably not going to get an inheritance from my parents. I definitely didn't get one from my grandparents. I ain't going to get one from my parents. Absolutely fine. And if you are lucky enough to potentially have an inheritance, love that for you. But do not rely on it, because anything could happen. Now, I won't go into too much detail what happened with my nan, but we thought that we were going to end up with a lot of money. And then when we digged under the hood of their financial situation, it was messy, it was not good, and it meant we didn't really end up with anything. I'm not going to go into the details, but that's what happened. But literally, it was unexpected. That could happen to any of us. If you are relying on an inheritance, it's okay to go, I know I'm getting it, but to rely on it, don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. Make your own money. And it's easy to make your own money. We can get jobs. We can have side hustles. We've got access to the internet. So many things. But dear Lord, please make your own money and do not wait for someone else's money. Now, inheritance aside, even just relying on someone else, I'm just going to wait until I get a rich partner, or I'm just going to hope that I win the lottery, or my parents are just going to bail me out of this situation. Whatever it is, no relying on anybody else. If you end up with a rich partner, love that for you. If you have rich parents, absolutely fine. But still make your own money, because it's more empowering and it means you don't have to rely on anybody else, because anything can happen. And I've said that multiple times, but seriously, you're an adult, get your own money. That's what I will say. But caveat to this, that doesn't mean you shouldn't accept money from other people or receive money, because what can happen is it swings the other way and you go so hyper independent that when someone else is wanting to help or can afford to give you money, you're like, actually, I don't want it. I don't want to take money off you. No, it's okay to take money off people, but just make sure that you are making your own money. Okay, number 2, investing is the answer to building wealth. Flat out. There is no other way to do it. Nobody just got rich from saving. You cannot you cannot save your way to wealth. Investing is a must. It is a non-negotiable. It is not a nice to have. And when I learned about it when I was 26, and it took me a whole year to get started, when I really understood, okay, I thought saving was the answer. I was there with 20, 25k set in my bank, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be rich. Cut to learning about investing and being like, fuck, I'm literally losing the buying power of my money that's sat in cash. No, investing is the answer. So if you want to be wealthy, you got to start investing. Okay, number 3, it is important to take some risk. Investing involves risk. Changing your job involves risk. Running your own business involves risk. People say, investing is too risky, right? But the irony is that saving your money instead of investing is risky, and it has downsides because inflation is eating into the buying power of that money. okay? We think it's the safest option, but I promise you it's not. It's safe for certain things. It's safe for your emergency fund, right? Saving cash in a savings account or an ISA for an emergency fund and holding onto it in cash is the safest option for your emergency fund, because you know you might need that money at any point. You don't want to invest your emergency fund. That'd be really risky, because what happens if you need it and then you go to the stock market or you go, whatever, and you're like, shit, it's down. I don't have as much as I thought I'd actually saved. We don't want that. However, saving and holding on to cash for the long term, for your retirement, that's risky, okay? And not in a good way. So it's okay that things involve risk. It's weighing up the risk, looking at and understanding your own risk, understanding what risk is applicable for each thing, and knowing that it's important to take risk when it comes to these things. Now, I realise that I just said saving is risky and now I'm telling you to take risk. Let's separate them. But what I'm saying is, if you don't want to take risk because you're scared of it, you're already being risky by not investing. So taking calculated risk is what I should say. Taking calculated and strategic risk is very important for building your own wealth. Okay, number 4, you cannot budget your way out of a low income. Sometimes you just need more money. Now, when I sit down with clients and they say, I don't have enough money, I need more money. Sometimes I'm like, babes, you don't know where your money is going. And when we sit down and we look at it, you don't need more money. You just need to be better with it. But sometimes people really do be needing more money. You need a pay rise. You need a better paying job. You need a side hustle. You need to run your own business, whatever that looks like. Sometimes you really need that. Cutting back means you can only work with what you've actually got. And if what you got ain't a lot, you got to find a way to get more. And a lot of the time, people feel like it's a lot of effort. And it might be a lot of effort, but what is it that's fueling your dream life? What is it that is making you want to get up in the morning and go make some moolah and build that life of yours? Me, 10 years ago, when I started my job in corp and I worked for a sales company and I would get commission on sales, my fuel was going to drama school. And that kept me there for like 3 years to start. Then, when I had the money and I went traveling and I came back and I had the travel bug, I was like, that is my fuel. And what else my fuel was that kept me motivated and kept me going to work and kept me making money was this idea that money is a tool. Money is an incredible tool that allows you to live the life of your dreams that you deserve, that I know all of you deserve. So utilising that and not being afraid of going out there and making more money. And if your brain is telling you can't make more money, that is a block. It is a limiting belief that you can work through because your mindset can shift. Okay, number 5. Not paying attention to your finances is the quickest way to undo financial progress. And do you know why I'm telling you this? Because it happened to me. That's right, a money coach. I spent a bit of time not really paying attention to my finances. I made a very rough budget. I didn't fully stick to it. And I undid some of my financial progress. And at first I was really annoyed at myself because I was like, dude, this is literally your job. And then I was like, I'm only human. Oh, don't mind me. I am only human and I am subject to mistakes. There's a couple of reasons why I think it might have happened. I won't go into them. But when you build good habits, that is what helps you. The mindful spending, the direct debits of paying yourself first, the understanding, investing and actually putting money away, all the little things, okay? The poor habits that you build through mindlessness of not paying attention add the fuck up. You will end up eating into your savings. You will end up eating into your investments. You will end up getting into debt. You will end up not saving or investing anything. And you undo the progress that you had. Now, if this is you and you're thinking, shitballs, I have not been very mindful, I ain't gonna lie. That's okay. Use this as a catalytic moment to sort your shit out. That's exactly what I've done for this month. And really start to acknowledge your own behaviour. It can be painful, but it's important. Now, when you're not being mindful of your spending or your finances in general, you are doing yourself a disservice because you go to work and you make money and you work hard. Do not do yourself a disservice. You deserve more than that. Do not undo your own financial progress. If you do, it is okay. But look at what happened. Make sure it doesn't happen again. And if it does, what can you do differently that time around? Okay, number 6. Feeling shitty about your financial situation is not going to help you. And I don't mean this in like a toxic positivity, like don't be sad kind of way. But if you funnel the energy that you have of feeling shitty towards what's going on into learning how to make more money, learning how to grow your money, learning how to be more mindful with your spending, learning how to budget, the problem is more likely to get solved. So instead of sitting, looking at your finances, looking at your money, being sad that you don't have a very high income, sad that you've got some debt, sad that you don't have a house yet, sad this, and you shame yourself and you feel guilty or embarrassed that you don't have what your friends have or that you haven't been able to do whatever it is yet, that energy breeds. It's like a wildfire. It just be setting a light, fucking running down the highway. I actually don't know how wildfires work, so that was a really bad analogy. But basically what I'm saying is it catches on. So the more that you feel angry and sad and all of that energy, that is negative, and your brain will go out and look for evidence of more of that stuff. So your brain is going to search for all of the reasons why it thinks that you're shit with money, and then you will behave in alignment with that, and then you get more of that. So we want to cut that cycle. We want to stop that spiral happening, okay? And we want to swap. I was going to say swap and flip. Swip, that's a new word. Fricka swip. Swip the energy and use it on how can I be better with my money. And it's okay if you start small. But feeling shitty about it is not going to help. Journal it out, meditate it out, dance it out, and then move the fuck on to the next thing. Caveat to this, obviously there's a lot of money mindset things to be involved, but really start to be conscious of how you talk to yourself about your financial situation and the role that you've played. You can be honest with yourself, take responsibility, acknowledge what you've done without being down on yourself. You feel? You feel. Okay, and number 7, your financial progress does not have a linear trajectory, okay? It's going to go backwards, it's going to go forwards. It's okay either way. Now, right now, as of today, August 2025, I am making less money per month, per year, as the director of my own business than I was in my job 5 years ago. Let that sink in. I didn't want to say that out loud for a little while because I was like, I'm an embarrassment to the world. How am I going to quit my job to go do my dream and then not even be making the same amount of money? But what I realised in this instance is this is one of those pull back the arrow moments. I'm pulling back the arrow so I can shoot it forwards even further. Every single person that I know that has a successful business honestly says the first 5, 6, 7 years, which is usually 5 they say, the first 5 years is hard. You're not going to be making the same amount of money. You're not going to be doing the same amount of things. And that's okay. But where are you headed? How do you make more of it? How do you do those things? I feel like I have now uncapped my income ceiling and that I will be able to make more money. And I truly believe that anything is possible. And if I get 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the line and I'm not, and it's still running in the same way, I'm still making the same amount, I haven't made as much as I would like, and I'm like, I've done all of the things, then I can make a decision on what to do. Right? It's conscious, it's intentional. But I would never look back on those years and go, oh my God, that's another 10 years I could have been in corporate making a higher salary. No, because the experiences that I have had as a business owner, the friends I have made, the connections I have built, all of the things I have learned are invaluable. So the fact that my financial progress has slowed right down is okay, right? You feel? I don't know where I've got this new phrase from. I just keep saying, you feel? You feel me? So that's going to be in the next 20 podcasts that I do. Now, when you work a standard 9 to 5, you might be more likely to just slowly over time make more money. You know, you progress in your job, you get a pay rise, you save more, etc. But you're going to have different milestones as well. You're going to maybe have a house. You're going to have children. You're going to have a career shift. That's going to cost you money. So your net worth might decrease. Your progress might stop. You might stop saving or investing for a minute. Whatever it is, you aren't the exception of the rule. It's okay to quote unquote take a step back, to take 10 steps forwards. I promise you it's okay. So they are the 7 things I feel like I've learned over the years when it comes to my finances. I know I've got so much more to learn and so much more to share with you, but they were the 7 that have been the biggest eye-openers for me on my journey. So yeah, don't forget that this is your last opportunity to sign up to the Feel Good Investor course. I am so excited. It's honestly my favourite thing to teach. But if you have any questions, drop me an email, slide into my DMs, and I will answer them as quickly as I can. But thank you for tuning in. I love you all, and I'll see you next week.